Good morning and welcome to Libra Lights. First of all, don't have a heart attack. I'm actually wearing makeup, and I think it's the first time since we went into lockdown, which would have been, I'm pretty sure it was this time last year. Just stopped wearing makeup because obviously we were at home all the time in our comfy clothes and just felt like we didn't need makeup, but today I felt like putting it on. So yeah, I know I look really different. I wanted to come on today and talk about the journey of how I went from ex-Jehovah's Witness to a medium, because that seems to be what most people are interested in and find the most intriguing, as in how did that happen. And I guess the reason why that is intriguing to a lot of people is it's quite controversial. In the Jehovah's Witness religion, mediums are looked on as devil worship, as I was reminded by a post that a troll put on another spiritual worker's YouTube video, where they posted 4 scriptures from the Bible, which I'd completely forgotten about because I left the religion back in 1997, where mediums were really looked down upon. Yeah, completely forgotten about that. If you want to know more about my story, my disfellowshipping and then me disassociating myself from the Jehovah's Witnesses, go to YouTube and watch the Are You a Religious Reject video. In this video I'm going to talk about how I went from being a Jehovah's Witness up until now where I'm a medium. So it first of all started off with, I think fairly recently after I left, I went to see mediums. The first person that I went to see, I lived in Derby in England, and I'm pretty sure his name was Wayne Anthony. I'm sure. And the company where I worked at the time, a few of us used to go and see him at his house, and he was absolutely fabulous. I've got something in my throat, hold on. He made me crack up because he was so blunt. He pulled a card on me and said, "Oh, you're a naive cow, aren't you?" And I couldn't stop laughing because he was right at the time. And I've still got, and I should have got it out for this video, a list of everything he told me. It was from before I met my husband. He told me about meeting him. Said I was going to have a dog, and I've had 2 now. He said I was going to live by a river, and I live by a river. There's loads of other stuff on that list as well, which I'm so glad I kept it. So a bit of advice: if you do see a medium, notepad and pen, put the date and keep that forever, because it's so interesting. And then the most profound experience I had from going to see a medium was when I moved here and I started to go to a place called Feathers, which is where I trained to be a medium. But I started seeing Steve and Jackie there and having readings, and it was the one with Steve that stands out the most, and this was the point where I knew there was something in this. This was real. So a very sad story, and hey Michelle, if you're watching, love you and miss you. A very sad story. I was bridesmaid for Michelle and her then husband. Her husband very sadly died in a car crash while Michelle was pregnant. It was tragic. When I went to see Steve, the medium, her husband's is called Steve as well, that threw me. It wasn't necessarily to connect with Stephen, Michelle's husband, but he came through very strongly. It wasn't long after the event, I don't think. Very strongly, and there was a lot of stuff said which I won't go into because it's personal, but the one thing that I nearly fell off my chair at was Steve the medium said, he's showing me, this is really weird but I'm going to have to tell you, Rebecca, he's showing me a big toe with a bandage on and a lawnmower. And I literally could not believe it. What had happened was Stephen and Michelle had looked after our dog Sam, who's now passed, a boxer dog, while we went on holiday. And when we went to pick him up, Stephen had gone over his toe with the lawnmower and had a big bandage on it. Let that sink in. And that was the image that was being shown to Steve, the medium. And from that moment on, I was like, oh, that just completely confirmed all my beliefs. And then Feathers were running a spiritual kind of course, a level 1 and a level 2, where you could start to learn about your spiritual side. And of course I signed up straight away. We did things like auras, healing, learning about the cards, all the things that are connected with the spiritual side. And then I did level 2 because I loved it so much. And at the end of level 2, Steve and Jackie asked me if I'd like to be a trainee medium. Medium, did I say that right? I think I did. And I started doing readings on a Saturday at the shop, which I absolutely loved. So that's how I kind of got into it. And I guess it was a comfort because I'd lost the kind of religious side of things from the Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'd lost family, friends, including, you know, the connection. There is a spiritual side there, isn't there? There's, you know, your belief, the stories that you've learnt from the Bible, you lose all of that. So I guess there's a comfort when you connect to your spiritual side. In particular, I found it really comforting when I started doing my training at Feathers. We also met our spirit guides, and there were 2 that I met back then that are still with me now. So this is 2013, and I met them. One's called Ariana, one's called Aurora, 2 women. So it was nice to know that they were with me, comforting. And then recently, when I've started doing this work now, the light activation sessions, I'm connecting with Archangel Metatron and Sanat Kumara, who is an ascended master but works with light activation. So now I've got 2 more people around me. And of course, you have your guardian angels as well. And I've had them, well, I've known about them since 2013, but they're actually with you from when you're born. So it's really comforting, especially after you've experienced losing everything by leaving a religion. Connecting with your spiritual side brought me a lot of comfort, and I guess that's what the journey was all about, and that's how it all happened. So, you know, my advice for you, if you have just left a religion, you might need a bit of settling time. You've just gone through a traumatic experience. So I'm definitely not suggesting you go straight into this. But if you do have a curiosity, definitely start looking into it. Take it nice and slowly. Just start learning about it. And when you're ready, go and see your first medium. See how you get on. It's fascinating and comforting, as I've said, and that's what I, you know, would like you to experience. Now the exciting thing is, excuse me, I've still got something in my throat. I've decided that I'm going to do a course, an online course for everybody around the world. It's going to be 6 weeks. It's going to start, I believe, on Sunday, June the 6th. Just let me check that date, because I'm rubbish with dates. Yeah, Sunday, June the 6th. And it's going to run for 6 weeks up until Sunday the 11th of July. 1 hour a week. Sunday evening, 7 till 8. We're going to start off with week 1, where you get to know your spirit guide, and they're going to work with you through this course. It's going to be really exciting if you haven't got a clue who your spirit guide is. Before each week, you will be sent out a recorded meditation by me, which you must complete in your own time. So, for example, the first meditation that will come out before week 1 will be you meditating and seeing if your spirit guide comes through. Then we'll be covering crystals, for which I have a guest speaker, Sharon from Spark Up Your Light. She's crystal trained and Reiki trained, so that's going to be really exciting. We're going to be doing auras. The last session is all about opening your heart chakra, because I've learned as I've done this journey that once you can open your heart, and your heart is often very closed after you've been through something like religious rejection, once you can learn to open your heart, the connection with the spiritual side is a lot stronger. The messages you receive are stronger. If you want to do healing work, your heart needs to be open, and the healing will come through a lot more stronger. So that's why I've got that as the last session. And also very exciting is we have a guest speaker doing that, and that's Claire Thorpe, and she's a self-love coach. So for that session we're going to be working on the heart and opening it up. And then I've also got a plan for level 2 coming, which will be going a bit more deeper into things like we'll be looking at past life regressions and Akashic records on that course. This level 1 course is suitable for complete beginners. So if you have just come out of a religion and you want to start exploring your spiritual side, it's complete beginner level. It's also suitable if you were connected to the spiritual side of things and then you seem to have come away from it and you want to come back again. It's also, I don't want to just make this exclusively for people who have left a religion. Even if you've not left a religion and you're interested in the spiritual side of things, please sign up for this course. You are more than welcome. It's just because of my particular experience with coming from a religion. I think it would be good to have a combination of, on this course, of people who have been in a religion and people who haven't, so you can experience things from both sides. Anyway, I will be launching the link for that course a bit later today, and it would be fab to have you join. I'm going to limit it to 6 people, just because I want to work closely with you, and I think it would be a better experience if we just have the 6 people on this course. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm going to be working with Archangel Metatron and Sanat Kumara on this course. They're going to guide the meditations that I do through me, and I've also been told the people that join this course are going to have specific light code activations, so you know, join. This is going to be totally life-changing. As I said, the link will be on all of my accounts later on to sign up. Okay, I'm going to go now, as lots of things to do, but sending love and light out to all of you, and have a fabulous day.